Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now before I get into today's story, I have a shout out and I have a message for one of my most diligent, my most loyal and my most faithful viewer and subscribers. This viewer stroke subscriber calls himself or herself God is Love. Now, I honestly don't know whether God is Love is male or female, but they sent me a message yesterday saying that they have a story for me which pertains to a policeman, I think it's in the Stony Hill or Golden Spring area, or must be Constant Spring, somewhere, I don't remember. But that person either extorted or embezzled some serious amount of money from my loyal subscriber. They want me to do that story, and yes, I am willing to carry that story. Now, God is Love thinks that I might not carry it because I am always taking up for policemen. No, God is Love, you are wrong. I'm always taking up for what is right, and if I can't take up for what is right, I'll take up for what is more right than wrong. What I mean is, members of the police force are evil, and I will accept that. That's a fact. But there are good ones among them, and because I cannot pick out the good ones from the bad, I am quite prepared to accept them all as good until proven otherwise. Because the alternative is to pick the gunman. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no such thing as a good, bloodthirsty, violence-producing gunman. So, while we can say generally though the police force bad and the gunmen are bad, but if I have to make a choice, I'm going to choose the lesser of the two evils. And the lesser of the two evils, when given the choice between the police and the gunman, I'm going to choose the police. It is that simple. And I could go into the various nuances as to why this would be the best idea, but I won't go into that now. I'll just move on. So now you know, God is Love. Get in touch with me. Here's my number below. I'm hoping to hear from you soon. Now, on to the story. Last night, Corporal Christopher Smith lost his life. And I must say, Police Corporal Christopher Smith lost his life in one of the most innocent way possible. He drove up into a gas station at minutes to 11 last night, Friday night here, which at the time it was an active crime scene. It was an active robbery in progress. And because the robbery was so brazen and being done so openly, people didn't figure out that a robbery was actually in progress. And as you can see from this still picture from the from one of the CCTV camera, there's the gunman involved in the robbery. The robber, that particular one, him carefully and diligently turn out everybody pocket. All of the people who were part of the who were employed at the gas pumps. And then the policeman drove up. Of course, when he drove up, you notice that the gunman them never even flinch or even stop what them doing. Them just continue as normal, just like that. So the policeman drove up, he stopped, and of course he would have asked for gas. Of course, he was at the pump on the other side of the aisle, not the one where that we see in the crime scene, in this scene above. Now, I hear that his gas was being pumped at the time when the same criminal here walked up to him and actually opened his car door. Because, you know, the car was heavily tinted and it seemed like it was an American made vehicle because the steering wheel was over on the left side, while normally in Jamaica it is on the right side. It seemed that the corporal was focused over on the gas pump, maybe looking to see if he was getting the right amount of gas. So he wasn't even focused on the robbery taking place over on his right. So the gunman, not knowing who was in the vehicle or how many people were in the vehicle, so he decided to open the door to see what's going on because he don't know if any danger is there because the vehicle was heavily tinted, as I said. And opening the vehicle, I hear him say, as according to what one of the pump attendant told the police, the robber opened the door and said, "Bumbleclad, are you?" Excuse my French for you Christian people, but I just had to say it like it is. And the moment he said it, bow, 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 5 or 6 shots ran out in quick succession. What seemed to have taken place at this time is that when he opened the door and the corporal looked around, this armed criminal knew him. He realized who it was. And once he realized who it was and he realized the danger he was in, he was never going to make this policeman live. Now, stick a pin at this point and make we reason. This policeman was stationed at Denham Town Police Station. That is, of course, the Kingston Western Divisional Headquarters. I hear that sometimes he's also stationed at Admiral Town Station, and Admiral Town Station is just behind Kingston Comprehensive Clinic, which is at the top part of Jonestown. Sometimes he's also at the Cali Smith Drive police station. I remember that name, that one is called. But the people who frequent Admiral Town and who might be frequent that other one in Trenchtown area there, the one on Cali Smith Drive, would know this man. So it is clear that these gunmen are from that policing space. Because as we noticed, they did not kill anybody else. They did not bring violence to anybody else. So they knew this man. And that's why they had to fire on him. So police who are investigating this, them boy they come from same place out of Kingston Western there. Jonestown, Admiral Town, Denham Town, Trench Town, Tivoli Gardens, but somewhere within that space. So this narrows down your the area in which you should begin your investigations. After shooting the policeman, I hear that him just freak out and say, "Uno come." But at the same time, simultaneously, while he was out there, I joked down the pump attendants and relieving them of all the cash. At the same time, there was another group who were inside the convenience store who was also robbing both patrons, both customers, and the person serving. So this was a major robbery. And they left in 2 vehicles. Now, can you imagine this policeman just happenstance? He was just going to buy gas. He was no threat to anybody. So he was not on full alert. I know people say police have to always be on alert, and I understand that. But driving up at a gas station like this at that hour of the night and seeing everything looking calm, let us face it, man. There is no way that you would expect what to take place. I am hearing that at least one of the license plate has been captured on CCTV, and that exact lead is being followed. Oh, and another thing, it was said that the news spread like wildfire within seconds. There were policemen totally on the matter, running patrols, trying to find where the gunmen had gone, but they never actually found anything. They all ended up down by KPH in the night there, trying to render assistance and give support to their injured colleague. I hear that when he reached down to the hospital, Kingston Public Hospital, he was still lucid. He was still conscious and lucid. I hear, but I don't know if it's true, that the doctors were asking him, I don't know if they realized how serious his injury was, because he was conscious and he could have spoken with them and told them what was happening. But I hear that they wanted him to sign some documents before he could go into operation, and they were going through the documents, and they were asking some of his police colleagues to sign. But when the police colleagues I hear read the document or saw what was happening, they were kind of reluctant to sign it, since none of them considered themselves next of kin. Well, I don't know if the document was eventually signed, but I know that it caused a slight delay in him getting into surgery, and that by the time he was taken into surgery, he was dead. Now, I don't know if he could have been saved if the document had been signed earlier, because I don't know what time had elapsed between him coming in, between them asking him to sign the document, and between him and him going into surgery. It could have been minutes. And if it's minutes, then I doubt if it would have mattered whether the documents had been signed. I hear some people coming out on Facebook and on Instagram and saying that the doctors were cruel because they lost precious time by trying to get documents to be signed before taking him to surgery. Now, I will say this. Doctors take their jobs very seriously. No doctor on the face of this earth, unless placed under severe duress or given specific instructions, or whose actions were curtailed by some rule or some kind of legal prohibition, would have asked for papers to be signed before trying to save a life. So I'm not going to condemn the doctors at this point unless I get that cleared up. Because on the face of it, no doctor was going to do that. So for now, I'm giving the doctors the benefit of the doubt. Now, I go say this to all of you human rights people, which I would use Renato Adams' term, criminal rights people. If them find these gunmen tomorrow morning in our house, and find them with them gun pan them, who no same criminal rights person I go say fi carry them in, bring them in and let them get their go on trial. And you decide, when that happen and they get arrested, they're gonna be given bail, because remember, Judge Legosites still out there, and he's going to let them out on bail. Come out to continue killing for at least 2 years until they go and get a 10-year, come out back in 4 or 5 and kill again. Is that justice? And if it is, justice for whom? Another sad thing about this case, if Thursday night police had kicked off the doors of them scums pieces of excrement here and had just put it on them in them bed, the criminal rights people would come out and say, them wrong. The police are wrong. But I'll say this, as wrong as the police may be, faced with the horrors, with the dangers of being killed by these bloodthirsty monsters, I am going to choose the police every time.